So we asked to evaluate cosine squared of 2 theta d theta. So we're going to use the following result. Say cosine squared of x is equal to 1 plus cosine of 2 times x over 2. It's important to note that we just double the angle and then we use this particular identity. So let's apply this here. So pi over 2 negative pi over 2 1 plus cosine of 2 times the angle, which is 2 theta over 2 d theta. And now we notice that, well, first of all, if we go back to this particular function here, or this integrand, we notice that this should be an even function. That is to say, an even function. That is to say that if I go cosine of negative, say negative theta, I get cosine of theta. So inputting a negative value gives us the same thing as if we inputted a positive value. That's what an odd function, even function means. And of course, we notice that this integral is symmetrical. That is from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. And since it's symmetrical for an even function, we just multiply that by 2, and then we evaluate it from 0 to 2 over pi. Pi over 2. Let me just demonstrate how this is done. So it's 2 times from 0 to pi over 2, and then we just input the integrand again. So 1 plus cosine of 2 times 2 theta, which is 4 theta, over 2 d theta. And now we just find the indefinite integral. Well, first of all, let's just cancel these 2 out since they're constant. So we get the following: pi over 2, 1 plus cosine of 4 theta d theta. And now we find the indefinite integral. So the antiderivative of 1 is simply theta. The antiderivative of cosine of 4 theta is sine of 4 theta. Now we have to multiply by a quarter, since if we had to differentiate sine of 4 theta, we get cosine of 4 theta times 4. So to cancel out that 4, which is the inner function according to the chain rule, to cancel that 4, we have to multiply by a quarter. And then we evaluate this antiderivative from 0 to pi over 2. And now, continuing on the next page, let me just write this whole thing out again. Sine of 4 theta over 4, 0 to pi over 2. And now we just substitute the upper limit of integration, which is pi over 2, and subtract that from the lower limit of integration, which is 0. So we get the following: substitute pi over 2 for theta, plus sine of 4 pi over 2 over 4. I have to subtract the substitution of the lower limit, so 0. Excuse me. It should be 0 there. So 0 minus sine of 4 times 0 over 4. And now we notice that this whole thing should be 0, since sine of 4 times 0 is 0. So it should be 0 here. And then we just look at the leftmost term. So it should be pi over 2 plus sine of, simplifying the inner part, we get 4 times pi over 2, which is 2 pi, divided by 4. And 4 times of 2 pi. 2 pi is just 360 degrees, so it should be 0 here. So your final answer should in fact be pi over 2.